The Godzilla from the Emperor's plan finally appeared. His epic battle with Titan X also began. But it is clear that Titan X has no interest in fighting, because foolish humans taking advantage of the Titan X fight. He stole his cub, which completely infuriated him. Just now, Shaw discovered traces of Titan X on the beaches of northeastern Australia. At this moment, her tentacles were flailing wildly, and countless scarabs were closing in on a nest. The Emperor Organization's surveillance hole was already in an uproar. The screen is filled with alerts and data accountability. Redecon site received a communication from the Secretary of Defense, whose intentions were clear. Australia has already demanded that the US fulfill the Titan X defense agreement, and they see this as an opportunity. Meanwhile, after quietly observing Titan X, I found that the other person had stayed in the same place the whole time. It seems to be laying eggs. So, Shaw immediately prepared to take action. He took out a heavy wooden box and smashed the device into the sand to secure it, and then assembled a more complex honeycomb-like device to set it up. Next, the tablet debugging and other devices began to operate, and the energy fluctuations grew stronger, madly attracting Godzilla's attention. The command center of the Emperor Organization was simultaneously watching the energy readings of Titan X. At this point, the data keeps climbing. Technicians confirmed that Titan X had barely moved since landing, but energy output continues to increase. Some judge this surge in energy. It looks very much like Godzilla's state before launching his attack. So the situation is very grim. Immediately after, he received news that a fleet of 20 warships was on its way. Tomahawk cruise missiles carrying nuclear warheads on board. The people in the control room will arrive within 3 hours. Hearing the word nuclear bomb clearly made it hard to hold back. At this point, Kiko suggests that Titan X follows the same migration route. Having traveled the world for many years, there has never been a record of attacks. It wasn't until Apex intervened in Sensoda that it deviated from its course. The most crucial thing now is not to blow it up, but to figure it out. Why deviate and then put it back on track? Kate even made it clear. Titan X needs to be rescued, and the commander is very impatient when he hears this. He felt a sense of foresight, a threat, with clear coordinates. This is the opportunity to deal with him. The tension grew tense, but in the end, they relented, giving them one last chance. Next, they began preparing to send Kate and the others ashore. Kate persuaded Kentaro that there was no need to go on the adventure together, but Kentaro insists on stopping Titan X from causing more deaths. Kai was especially unaware of this. The other party has a special purpose. When the helicopter approached the beach, countless birds seemed to be summoned. They began a frenzied assault. The helicopter hovered in midair, lost control, and the signal was completely lost. Meanwhile, Shaw's summoning finally took effect. Somewhere in the South Pacific, Godzilla, who had slumbered in the deep sea, finally awakens. Fortunately, everyone was safe and sound. They met up with Shaw on the beach. This was also the first time everyone had such close contact with Titan X on land. But he was like a mountain, lying there, standing still, barely moving. Kiko and Shaw clearly disagreed. Kiko believes that cooperation is necessary now, because their goals were aligned. He opposed Shaw bringing Godzilla into the battle. But Shaw disagreed. He believed that what he did was the way to follow the laws of nature. Kiko retorted, saying no one really understands Titan X's habits. Past research was only about making more weapons. Humans need to understand Titan X to protect themselves. Shaw compared to Huizi presenting solid evidence, but Huizi remained silent. He admitted he couldn't come up with it, but he insisted on one point. The mysterious Titan X must return to its migration route, or people will die. Jiaoyer was very tough. He was unwilling to let anyone become a victim. While they were arguing, Kate walked alone toward Titan X, and his condition was very off. It was as if some emotion was pushing him forward. He stood close to Titan X to observe. Suddenly, Titan X slowly opened its eyes, revealing green eyes. But Kate didn't back down. His emotions gradually calmed down from fear, as if he had finally confirmed something. Soon, Titan X suddenly released its tentacles. Kate discovered a nest inside. Kate stared intently, a long time. Suddenly, I realized that Titan X already had a missile in the production nest. He finally understood why Titan X had strayed from its route and stopped here. Not leaving, not attacking. Instead, it is for laying eggs, so now he can leave. Suddenly, Kentaro receives a call from Isabel, the top company. Kentaro revealed they found Titan X, but he hesitated whether to tell anyone about the giant beast's egg-laying incident. He wasn't sure if this was the result his father wanted. Isabel directly took the pressure and told Kentaro his father died at Kate's hands. He also said, "No matter what Kate wants to do, it will only bring more death and destruction." Jian Tailang was pushed to his limit but eventually changed his stance and said the plan was feasible, telling Isabel to ignore the scarabs. He directly revealed that Titan X was laying eggs. Meanwhile, Godzilla finally appears on the sea, and the giant back breaks through the water's surface. The Emperor organization also discovered Godzilla immediately, but at the same time they also discovered several unknown vehicles. Having already crossed the Imperial Organization's security line, Titan X also noticed a red glow instantly glow from Godzilla's body. To protect the nest, he took the initiative to climb up. Godzilla bursts forth from the water, and his epic battle with Titan X is about to begin. At this moment, Apex Company began to act with a clear goal. It is that egg from the tide at this time. Kate also sensed something was wrong. Apex Corporation was actually summoned by Kentorov.
The battle between the two giant beasts began.
At this point, Titan X still hadn't realized his ammo had been stolen. Godzilla and Titan X are similar in size, fight directly in the diving zone, engaging fierce close-quarters combat. But when Titan X spotted the helicopter, its emotions instantly spiraled out of control. She had lost all desire to fight. He just wants to desperately break free from Godzilla's restraints to rescue his own child. But Godzilla severely suppresses him. Finally, Godzilla unleashed his ultimate. His back began to emit blue light, and the sound of charging grew louder and louder, immediately ejecting atomic earth gas. But Titan X no longer cared about the pain in its body. Chased helicopters like crazy. Kate and the others watched it all, knowing that things had completely spiraled out of control. They originally wanted to rescue a lost mother beast, but now humans have directly taken away what matters most to him.